across the UK, on DAB+, on YouTube, on the app, on your mobile, the home of common sense. This is Talk.
Another guest I'm very much looking forward to speak to, as I always do, is Jo Wheeler, who's a meteorologist with Square Raindrop. Jo, Storm Lillian is wreaking havoc for the bank holiday weekend. What is happening?
Well, it all started a while ago, to be perfectly honest. You remember we spoke about Ernesto, which was an ex-hurricane in the States. Now, this moved across the Atlantic and underwent extratropical transition, so it became not a hurricane anymore. But then it kind of hitched a lift with the jet stream, whistled across the Atlantic and hurled itself towards us. And really, what that kind of storm does, where it's got a lot of energy in it, is it kind of jazzed up the jet stream a little bit. And the next system that came along, well, think toddler, feed a lot of E numbers and take away their favourite toy. So Lillian came across really quite angry, and we saw these incredibly strong winds today. I think over Leeds, 82 miles per hour. And of course, the Leeds Festival was going on. Lots of pictures today on social media of those tents taking flight. And as the pictures we're looking at the moment, you can see an awful lot of branches, a lot of debris in the roads. Both my bins blew up the road. But even here on the East Coast, just popped down to the local shop and there was a lot of foliage just lying around and sticks coming up at your car. So it has caused carnage on a day when, of course, many people are travelling.
Not what you expect or indeed want at this time of the year, Jo. A bit of sunshine would be quite nice.
Oh, it would, wouldn't it? Hang on, we haven't finished yet. Hold my beer. So Lillian's coming back tonight. Obviously, the first cross of the country was mostly damaged from the winds, but the rain that's coming overnight, it's already showing its hand down towards the southwest. And that's going to push its way eastwards overnight. Now, we're looking mostly at a line from the Isle of Wight up towards Ipswich in Suffolk. Now, that does take in London, mostly central and eastern areas. But of course, you've just been talking about the Notting Hill Carnival. Conditions tomorrow morning are going to be shocking. Some parts are going to see upwards of 2 inches of rainfall.
Wow, so that's going to be dramatic for there as well. Are there any parts of the UK that are going to get a bit of sunshine over the bank holiday weekend, Jo?
Well, actually, you know, once you move away from that area of very heavy rain in the southeast, which will clear slowly through the morning, by the way, I know somebody's got an event in Kent in the afternoon, and it should brighten up for that. But we've also got plentiful showers over the north and the west. And with those, we'll also see the winds picking up tomorrow night over northern areas. But just wait on these temperatures, right? I had to look twice at these. For Scotland tomorrow, we're looking at around 10 or 11 degrees Celsius at best. The same for Northern Ireland. We might manage around 19 or 20 down in the south where the sun does put in an appearance, but it's certainly not warm for a bank holiday. Now, by the time we get to Sunday, things are looking a little bit different, but we've still got heavy rain. It's coming back, this time making its way across Ireland in towards western Scotland, northwestern parts of England. And of course, these are the areas that have seen significant rainfall and impacts from that rainfall already. So it's returning to an area that's got saturated ground. It's a weekend where people are holidaying, they are camping, they are wanting to go out on small craft and that sort of thing. They're travelling. It's really not very good news. What
if you're doing a skydive? Because Manette Bailey is 102. I'm going to be speaking to her tomorrow. Honestly, I've rarely looked forward to an interview so much. Fearless centenarian Manette Bailey from Ben Hall in Suffolk aims to use her skydive as a 102-year-old to raise much-needed funds for a village social club, Motor Neurone Disease Association, East Anglia Air Ambulance, with whom Prince William flew for 3 years. She's got a personal message from the Prince of Wales wishing her well. She will enter the record books as Britain's oldest parachutists, a record previously held by Verdun Hayes in May 2017, a mere slip of a lad at 101 years old and 38 days. She's a former Wren. She worked for the Women's Royal Naval Service during the Second World War. She was once married to a paratrooper and no stranger to adventure. Do you know what she did for her 100th birthday, Jo?
Go on.
She drove around Silverstone in a Ferrari at 130 miles an hour.
What else do you do for your 100th birthday? Did you say she's doing that jump in Suffolk?
Yes.
So things actually, I think, will be all right for her.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Sunday. Yeah, we start to see temperatures picking up a little bit, and certainly southern and eastern parts of the country will see some fine weather. As a last blast, because Bank Holiday Mondays also looking okay in some places, not so good in others. But by the time we get to the middle of the week, parts of the east and southeast could see temperatures topping 30 degrees Celsius.
Oh, okay, so big changes there. And what about next weekend as well? Because there'll be a lot of people just going back to school and, you know, perhaps going back to work and things after summer holidays and so on. Do we know what it's looking like next weekend?
Yeah. Well, I say we know.
Well,
I mean, it's quite a long way off in forecasting terms.
Yes.
But the one thing that we can usually hang our hat on is a spot of high pressure. And certainly next weekend, it does look as though high pressure is setting in. So as the kids go back to school and people go back to work, weather's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, of course it is, as is always the case, isn't it? That's the way things are. Jo, always a ray of sunshine. Jo Wheeler there, a meteorologist with Square Raindrop. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on the programme. And someone says, if the Notting Hill Carnival is so peaceful, why do they need to send 7,000 officers? That's a huge number of police. You're absolutely right, although it is a huge event as well. Even